Hi and welcome to today's HANSA.newscast. My name is Janne Silden and I'm delighted to have Dr. Dirk Jürgens, Vice President of Research and Development, and Dr. Tobias Haack, Vice President of Sales from Voith Turbo Marine here with me today. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great.
I've had Tobias earlier on my podcast, so this will be a very hard question for him. But as always, could each of you share a fun fact about yourself to help us get to know you a bit better?
Yeah, last time I mentioned that in my former life, I have done a radio show and I've done a lot of music here when I was younger. Unfortunately, since the last podcast, I was not able to continue that path and re-establish a radio show and do music. I just simply didn't have enough time for it. There is not really a new fun fact since we have talked last time, so sorry for that.
Maybe there could be something that could be picked up by Voith, that you have an internal radio station. What do you say? You're in sales, so...
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But we don't want to be a competitor of your podcast and establish the Voith podcast or something like that.
No, that would be bad for the business. You're right. So how about you, Dirk?
Yeah, that's a tough question, I must admit. But I will release a fun fact. So I have a very deep voice, and I was standing at the railway station waiting for my daughter. And then I was in a talk with a lady and she said, "Oh, you have a great voice. You have to start singing." And I said, "No, I don't dare." But she said, "I'm a teacher for singing and please come to my, lectures." Went a year for singing lessons and that was a great year. But now I'm really busy with my job, but I quit it just 5 months ago. So it's quite recently.
Yeah, but it's always good to have a second leg to stand on in case something will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know.
So it looks like this podcast would be the start of the Voith company.
Maybe at the end, Tobias, we sing a song together.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to buy a song or the music in the front of the podcast. You can have Dirk singing,
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah.
With a deep voice.
Thanks for sharing. But let's dive into Voith as a company and your role within it. So could you give a brief introduction of the company and share your role and how it fits within the larger structure of the group?
We are both part of the Voith Marine business stream. Voith, in general, is a very big company based in Heidenheim, southern Germany. We do paper machines, hydropower plants, and a lot of components for the rail and commercial vehicle industry. And of course, the marine business is the most fun part of the company. And we are both very happy to be part of this team. We are a very, very traditional part of the company as well. So in 2 years' time, we will celebrate the 100th birthday of the product of the Voith Schneider Propeller. Really looking forward to that. I'm responsible for the worldwide sales activity for the marine products. And beside of the Voith Schneider Propeller that most of the listeners hopefully will know, we are also producing a special kind of bow thruster unit, a permanent magnet motor-driven, very silent bow thruster, and also a very special version of a water jet propulsion system that we have developed a couple of years back. And that's basically the portfolio.
Yeah, maybe I can add, we are really an engineering company. So demanding products, that is the core of Voith. And it means our products are unique, not only for the marine business, but also for the paper machines and for the water turbines, but even more for the propellers Tobias just mentioned. So the Voith Schneider Propeller is an invention of Ernst Schneider and Voith, you can say. So Ernst Schneider had the idea as a student, but to bring it to a product, it was a tough way. And so we did it. And we are proud to continue that road. But also the Voith inline thruster with rim drive. We are the pioneers bringing it into the market. Now our companies, they copy us, but we were really the pioneers. And the same is for the Voith linear jet, a unique thruster for fast vessels. So our products, they differentiate in a way that they have unique features for our customers.
Yeah, and that fits very well to my next question, which is now we're going to dive into the technology a bit more. Could you share some of your recent innovation in the marine propulsion?
Innovation, that is really for us an important topic. And we are active in different fields. So one field is the electrical Voith Schneider Propeller. And that was for us a successful and let's call it brave move to go with development. So to have a propeller gearless and very efficient and bring in, instead of a bevel gear, a permanent magnet motor. So we developed this unique propeller at a very short time. And the figures we see now in terms of efficiency and in terms of underwater noise, they are really great. So we are proud that we made this development, and now more or less 50% of our turnover is coming for an electrical Voith Schneider propeller, which was developed just 4 years ago. So it's still brand new, and we continue on that road.
Can you share some more details regarding the efficiency increase? Do you have numbers or make things more tangible?
Indeed, we do. If you look to that same is for the Z-drive or azimuth thrusters. If you have gears in, they have losses. So it depends, 2% or 3%. You have bearings, and that also give losses. And normally you have also an asynchronous motor, who is, of course, in its design point nice in terms of efficiency. But as you know, vessels work outside its design point. And there the efficiency drops more for an asynchronous motor than for a nice permanent magnet motor. So if we take all this together, then depends of the point you are looking, of the design point or outside, the gain in efficiency can be between 4 and 15%. So it can be huge.
Yeah, that's indeed. And what led to the development of the electrical Voith Schneider propeller? Is it external forces like a project, or was it internal?
That's a good point. The idea is not that new. So in fact, we were the first already in 1936. We made the first electrical, or the guys who did the job before us, they did it, but the time was not the right time. So it was too early. And then over the years, again and again, we and the people before us looked, shall we go this electric way? So the idea was born a long time before, but you have to have the right time. So you have to have the right moment. And when it came not only to the marine industry, it came to the rail, it came to the road, and also to our business. And we thought now is the right time to go this step, because the development, of course, is an investment. So we did this investment at the right time, and now it pays off. So it was a good move.
I saw on LinkedIn where I got in touch with Tobias, from earlier times, regarding Meteor IV, where you are delivering. And that's, I understood, a new development. The first time you have 8-bladed propulsion system. Can you tell a bit more about that one?
Yeah, that was really a common decision with the Meyer yard and Fassmer yard and us. And the Meteor IV is a very demanding vessel in terms of underwater noise. So we were confident to fulfill it with a traditional 5-bladed VSP, even better with a 6-bladed. But to be on a very safe side, we decided to go to 8 blades, because then we have a very low load on the blades. So it is very favorable in terms of underwater noise. So cavitation is coming very late. And we did a sophisticated model test in Hamburg and Potsdam. And they showed that the safest solution for this demanding vessel is the 8-bladed propeller. And so we went that road, and the propeller is already, or the 2 propellers are already delivered. So they fulfilled the factory acceptance tests in terms of noise levels from the mechanical or electrical side. But the proof in the water is still ahead of us. So we are really optimistic, and we can't wait to have the underwater noise measurements. But I'm personally convinced. So we fulfill this silent R demand. That is the class for that. And to my knowledge, there are hardly any other vessels with a steerable thruster fulfilling a silent R demand in the world. So it's most likely one of the first in the world.
In-house at Voith, we have our own testing facility as well. So we have a small base in our headquarters in Heidenheim where we do some basic research, but where we also do product development and also project testing. That is one part in the chain. We also have a quite nice CFD cluster in our headquarters. So we are doing a lot of CFD calculations for our products and projects. That includes also hull form development. So we also help our customers to get the best hull form design for their application in order to reduce the resistance and the propulsion power as much as possible. So that is also an extra added value that we bring to the table. Then the next step in many projects is, of course, that we also go to model basins like HSVA, that we do then propulsion tests and sometimes also maneuvering tests and seakeeping tests, so that we can demonstrate that our product is in line with the dynamic positioning demands of the customer, and also that the roll stabilization that we can offer with our propellers is also working, and that in the sea state that is being tested in the model basin, the seakeeping stabilization system with the Voith Schneider Propeller is also working. That is also why we go to model basins quite frequently.
So how long does it take to develop from the idea into the really concrete product?
Yeah, you mean for the electrical Voith Schneider propeller?
Let's say for this, for Meteor IV in particular, because it's a...
Actually, because we are small team, not too small, but very dedicated team. We do developments quick. So we have very skilled people in our team since long, and with the right education, and even more important, with the right attitude. So for the electrical Voith Schneider propeller, believe me or not, it took just a year. It was very fast, but we had also good partners for the electric motor. We have partners for the optimization of the efficiency. It's a company in Austria, it's LCM. They do a great job. But also in-house, we have a lot of knowledge. For example, the people doing the water turbines, they do also the generators. And also there, they do electrical developments. So we had a good support internally from Voith. It goes quickly. Our advantage is we are a small team. What additionally helps that we get or we have the trust of the top management. So in case we do a development, we get the support and to do it quick. It's important. Time to market matters.
Yeah, completely agree. I think, Tobias, you in sales, that's what do you want to add to that one?
Yeah, I mean, in sales, it's always important to be as quick as possible and react to the market demands. And that is what I really like about this team and the job, that we are able to fulfill those response times requirements that we see in the market. And I think it's expected that this will last and that this will maybe even get more demanding in the future, and that you really have to be agile in order to be successful.
And that's something that I understand for Schneider Propulsion. You are really dynamic. There you have a lot of projects going on, development projects. What are the key trends you are seeing in the marine propulsion, and how are you preparing for these changes?
Yeah, within our market segment, we see a lot of vessel owners and operators that go for unconventional propulsion systems in terms of energy transformation. So a lot of battery vessels and alternative fuels and things like that. And we believe that with the electric Voith Schneider propeller, we have the right product to support this. When you operate a vessel with batteries, having a low resistance and propulsion power is even more important than with diesel-powered vessel, because if you can bring down the propulsion power by 5% because you get rid of mechanical losses, that also means that you need 5% less battery power. And that, of course, changes the the capex also quite significantly. So we see a very high demand in this area, and we also see higher demands when it comes to dynamic positioning, and that is of course something that by tradition we are very good at, and that we can easily supply to the market.
I can only underline what Tobias said in terms of dynamic positioning, because if we look to the offshore wind market, we see that floating wind is coming. And there, the demand for being quick at the platform, when the platform is moving additionally, not only the service operation vessel, it becomes really challenging. And another trend is, of course, a low underwater noise, that it's not coming for research vessel or Navy vessel, but also is coming more and more for commercial vessel. So if you are looking to Canada, but it will come everywhere in the world.
And what's driving this low noise demand?
Yeah, as you know, it's the environment, it's the fishes and whales and dolphins, and so they need, we need a better world. Also, the animals need it. And so we have to take care that we don't disturb their life of the animals. Yeah.
Earlier times, I know a lot with the underwater noise was much related to Navy application, and also not being, the old movies from the submarines and all this bit about the underwater noise. So there is a change in awareness that is creating not just regarding emission. You see less of the dark smoke, from the chimneys. But it's also underwater is getting awareness. And is the regulations driving it, or why because I would expect it costs more, doesn't it?
It costs more, yes, but maybe not so much more. What we gain for that money or with this additional cost. But it's, of course, regulation are demanding. In Canada, for example, we see it. But also we see more activities from the classes. They have new regulations or new class notations in terms of underwater noise. And it's a bunch of new classes that we appreciate, and where we see a strong position for all our three types of thrusters, which Tobias mentioned at the beginning.
Yeah.
And of course, it's also the crew and the passengers that benefit from that. If you have lower underwater radiated noise, that usually goes hand in hand with lower noise and vibrations on board as well. And also the demands from crew and passengers are getting higher and higher when it comes to noise and vibrations on board of a vessel.
Yeah. And I understood that this 8-bladed propulsion system for Meteor was also about reducing noise and as well as efficiency. So how does it work by increasing? Is the more the merrier, or what's the principle?
You mean the increased blades?
Yes, number of blades.
What was the challenge, or maybe I didn't get your question?
Why are 8 blades the right amount of blades for this specific?
Yeah. That's a good point. Why not? Yeah, six we did already, and why not 7? So now I could say in 1939 already 7-bladed propeller was built. So we have the target to do more. No, that was definitely not the question. That was not a race for record. No, it was really the case that when we stepped to the increase of blades, we did a lot of numerical calculation with computational fluid dynamics. And where we saw the gain for 7 blades was not that big, that's the gain for 8 blades. So the blades interact, whereas quite complex hydrodynamic. And for 8-bladed, we saw a huge gain. And for 7, we saw additional gain. And so we were really heading for the huge gain to be as silent as possible. And it was really a result of a numerical optimization. And then we were forced to develop a new kinematic system to steer it. If you see the kinematic, and you find it in the internet, it's really a piece of art. We are really proud of that, of our engineers, from the design, from the engineering, from the structural calculation, from the hydrodynamic. It was really a great team development. But to come to your question, crystal clear, it was a result of the numerical calculation that 8-bladeds are the best.
What are the biggest challenges in developing this kind of cutting-edge propulsion system?
The biggest challenges, that's a good question, and it's our daily question, honestly. We are heading for highest efficiency, for lowest vibration, and of course for also a reasonable cost. So there's a triangle of, we could have even a much higher efficiency, but most likely with a higher vibration. So where we have to find the optimum between cost, between efficiency and vibration. And so there is a permanent looking for the optimum solution for the customer at the end of the day, because we have in our view always the customer, that he needs an advantage with our product. There are different targets. The best hydrodynamic target can create the highest load, and structural, it cannot be done. So we have to find compromise, and we have to work as a team. And as I said at the beginning, we are a good team working close together, and this is our strength.
How do you incorporate customer feedback into the development? Because if you mentioned that the customer is really central. So how do you, I guess you get also feedbacks and...
Yeah, as a customer, we really need the feedback, and even more very often, and this we appreciate, we like that. The customer is driving somehow the development, as it was done for this Meteor IV propeller. There, the customer said, I have very tough demands in terms of underwater noise. If you would like to be in the game, you have to fulfill that. The process was challenging for us. The customer, and he was right, he really insisted that we do our utmost to fulfill his demand, and we did. That is really something. And also for looking to dynamic positioning, Tobias mentioned these important words, where also we talk to the customer and say, where is the area you would like to work? For example, currently we are talking about the area along the Orkney Islands, very challenging in terms of weather conditions. And there we ask the customer, what demands do you have for DP accuracy? And so we look to our development, not only to the propeller itself, but also to the control system and to the cooperation with the interface partners like the DP maker or the power management. We have to work with them together. So we are quick in terms of thrust production, by far the quickest, but also this can create high loads. So where best is to have a battery system on board and then keep the vessel in position.
Tobias, that sounds like a dream for a salesperson, and to have this, be able to have customer feedback and hand it over to research and development, and you get a really great product. So
yeah, we really try to stay close to our customers. I joined Voith this year, and the first 2 months I'm almost entirely spent by visiting customers. So I had the pleasure visiting a lot of ship owners and shipyards in June and July in North America. So I've traveled North America from Louisiana to Vancouver to meet our existing customers and also hopefully new customers. And I think that is what really in our DNA, that we are very, very close to our customers. And that includes also the research and development team. So our research and development team is meeting our customers all the time. And they are on board. So they try to experience our propulsion system live and in action as often as they can, so that we can improve things, see what works, and maybe where we need improvement.
So how important is collaboration with other industry players and researchers in achieving Voith's R&D goals?
Yeah, this is a good point. So we are really aiming for good activities with partners. So we are a company doing a lot of research, not only the marine business, all the other departments at Voith too, but we have projects running together with universities and model basins. So Hamburg University, Rostock University, Duisburg, but also HSVA, SVA Potsdam. With them, Fraunhofer in Hamburg, with them we did and we do great projects. So we are looking not only for the current activities like electrical propulsion, but also for future projects like autonomous shipping. So we have a great project with the Weiße Flotte Stralsund and with the university in Aachen, and so and the Rostock University, and our target is there to have a vessel sailing from Rügen to Hittensee, autonomous. So currently we are delivering the control system for that ferry. And so it's already in a good phase, this development. And we did it already for a ferry at the River Rhine, Maulfähre. And also we work on remote controlled tugboats. So these are really future projects, but not too far in the future. So we see some application already reasonable soon.
That fits very well with my next question, which is, can you tell us about Voith's vision for the next decade in the marine industry?
Our vision is, of course, to deliver for the customer a solution that gives him advantages. So we work, our target is, of course, not ourselves as a customer. And the customer needs reliable, efficient propulsion. So with a very low footprint in terms of CO2. And we are looking for products that fits to autonomous shipping with digital products. It means we're looking for condition monitoring systems and condition-based maintenance to bring down cost. Total cost of ownership is key, we think. So this is our vision. To make it clear, our products, they have to be efficient and reliable and, of course, look to general trends like autonomous shipping. These are important future developments.
Yeah. Tobias, you have been visiting customers the last couple of months, as you mentioned. So does it fit with the wishes of the customer? Are they also that visionary?
There is, of course, a lot of different market segments. There is still very traditional operators, and we are, of course, very happy to serve them and provide them the known quality and product benefits that we have done in the past. And of course, there is also ship owners that face a lot of challenges to change the way they operate. And that is, of course, what Dirk just mentioned, where we are trying to give them as much support as possible.
I think I will get back to you with my final question. And that would be, what is success to you?
Success. Well, that's a good point. For me personally, I'm now in this position since 25 years. That's quite a time to be the R&D manager for so long time. And for me personally, the success, and Tobias mentioned we are celebrating soon 100 years for Schneider Propeller. For me, a success is to keep such a unique propeller so differently to any other propellers in the market, and to improve it and to make it to such a modern propeller that has so unique differentiation to other propellers. So that is for me success, and this success is possible only because we have a great team, great people, and I personally very proud that I were able to influence to hire these people over a long period. This is for me personally a success to have great people in our team.
I think it is very important that our customers are successful. That is what I aim for. A couple of months back, I've been on board of a river cruise vessel with our propulsion system. They told me about a story where they had a medical emergency on board, and that because of our propulsion equipment and the great maneuverability they had, they were able on the river to maneuver the vessel in such a position that person that was in this medical situation could be taken from the vessel and could be brought to the hospital as fast as possible. And the crew was very happy about this situation, that they were able to help that person in that emergency situation because they had these great maneuvering capabilities. And stories like that, success from me, when you get feedback like that, I think that is what makes the difference in the end.
Thanks for sharing your insights, Dirk and Tobias. It's been a pleasure to have you here on HANSA Newscast. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jana.